Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He will make steady progress in his career because he works hard and follows routines, but don't expect him to climb very high or become a big leader. He isn't the type to talk big or boast about wild dreams. He prefers sticking to proven paths and keeping his head down to get the job done. He is more about keeping the peace than making waves.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's likely to get upset quickly. He might lose his temper, feel overwhelmed, or want to just walk away from the problem instead of facing it head on. He isn't someone who bounces back easily after setbacks.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work find him polite and easy to talk to, so he isn't the type to get into loud fights or arguments. He likes to follow rules and keeps things orderly, which makes him dependable and well mannered. He may withdraw and avoid difficult people or situations instead of dealing with problems openly.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's likely to be polite and happy for you on the surface, maybe even encouraging in group settings. Still, deep down, he might struggle a bit. He won't try to bring you down, but he could become distant or avoid talking about your success if he feels uncomfortable.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he might feel insecure deep down, even if he doesn't show it openly. He's not one to start arguments or say hurtful things, but you may notice him becoming quieter or more withdrawn at times. He could avoid talking about your salary or change the subject if money comes up.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's generally careful with money and prefers to keep things organized and under control. He will plan expenses, pay bills on time, and avoid unnecessary risks with finances. You won't see him making sudden big purchases or spending without thought.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives well within his means and does not try to impress others by pretending to be richer than he is. He's practical and prefers a simple, orderly life where expenses are planned and surprises are few. Even if others around him are spending more, he doesn't feel pressure to compete or put on a show.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He tends to be careful and sometimes a bit strict with money, making sure things are under control before spending on extras. When it comes to kindness, he follows the basic rules of good manners and will treat people politely. But he may not go out of his way to help others or show big hearted generosity. He believes in doing what's expected, but you might not see warm surprises or extra support when you really need it.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is mostly open about money matters and will talk about finances if you ask, though he may not share every single detail on his own. He likes to keep things organized and fair, so he won't hide major things from you or play games with accounts. You can trust him to handle money seriously and not be sneaky, but you might need to gently encourage him to open up more if you want full honesty and teamwork.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He believes in keeping things neat and orderly, so he will do his part when it comes to housework, especially tasks that fit into a clear routine. However, he isn't naturally assertive, so if you don't speak up, he might quietly let you handle more. If you ask for help or work out a plan together, he'll likely follow it and want things fair.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to help with chores and diapers in a practical way, especially if you set clear expectations or routines together. He likes things to be orderly, so tasks that fit a schedule or list appeal to him. He isn't bossy or someone who just stands back and tells you what to do.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He isn't the type to start big arguments just to prove himself right, but he may struggle to fully understand your side, especially during tense moments. If he feels uncomfortable or criticized, he might become quiet, pull away, or avoid the conversation instead of fighting back. He doesn't enjoy conflict, so he'd rather keep the peace than push his own opinion strongly.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he gets angry, he can have quick, intense reactions and might say something sharp or use a harsh tone in the heat of the moment. He tries to be polite, so he doesn't usually become aggressive or use cruel words on purpose. Still, his frustration can sometimes slip out before he catches himself, and he may regret it later.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry quickly, especially when things feel overwhelming or messy. His temper can flare up without much warning, even over small issues, which might surprise you or make home life tense at times. Quick, unpredictable anger is a red flag for many women because it can affect your peace and happiness.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
It's hard for him to say sorry and take responsibility right away, especially when emotions are running high. He might get defensive, pull back, or avoid talking when he's in the wrong. He doesn't usually blame you openly or make it all your fault, but don't expect quick or heartfelt apologies.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is polite and generally respects rules, so he will likely honor your boundaries when you clearly say no. He isn't someone who pushes or argues when you set a limit. Often he'll pull back and respect your space, especially if you make your feelings clear in a calm way. Overall, you can trust him to respect your no, though clear communication works best with him.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he may take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. When you say no, he tends to feel hurt, confused, or even a bit rejected, and his first response might be to become quiet or pull away. He's not likely to argue or guilt you, but you might notice him being distant or less cheerful afterwards.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can generally trust him to keep private moments private. He's not the type to use your secrets or intimate moments against you, even if you have disagreements later. Still, he can sometimes be blunt without realizing. So, gentle reminders about what matters to you can help.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He's the kind of person who is steady and prefers routine, which means he's not easily distracted by other women. Loyalty and sticking to what he knows come naturally to him, and he values the comfort of a stable relationship over chasing excitement elsewhere. Overall, you can expect him to be faithful and dependable when it comes to loyalty.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't naturally over possessive or controlling. He prefers to avoid drama and doesn't have the energy or desire to keep constant watch over your actions or friendships. If something truly bothers him, he might become distant rather than confront things directly.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective side is not really about controlling you. He isn't the type to watch over your every step or make strict rules about who you see or what you do. He values peace and routine, not power over you.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is willing to help with parenting, especially if there's a clear routine or list of what needs doing. He doesn't expect you to handle everything alone and will do his part if you ask or set a plan together. However, he isn't naturally proactive, so if you don't speak up, he might slip into letting you take on more.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's likely to lose his temper quickly. He doesn't have much patience when things don't go as planned, and you may notice sharp words or a raised voice in those moments. He isn't cruel, but his quick temper and tendency to pull away can make difficult moments harder for everyone.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He's likely to respect and support your role as a mother, especially when it comes to routines and keeping things organized for the family. When you want to pursue your own interests or career, he won't openly fight or put you down, but he may not offer emotional cheerleading or open encouragement either. He won't stop you or block your freedom, but for deeper support and understanding, you may have to ask directly. He doesn't always realize when you need that boost as your own person.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
With him, you may get practical support for your career at first. He likes things to be fair and organized, so as long as work and family life fit a routine, he's likely to go along with it. But if your job later feels like it's disrupting home routines or taking too much of your time away from family, he may quietly start pulling back his support. He isn't likely to argue or demand outright that you quit, but you might notice hints like silence when you talk about work victories, avoiding chores, or seeming withdrawn if he's feeling uneasy.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will treat your parents politely and will do his best to be respectful and well mannered around them. However, don't expect much real warmth or emotional connection. His kindness usually stays on the surface. He'll make sure to follow customs, offer a helping hand when it's needed, and speak respectfully. He is more likely to quietly adjust to your family's ways rather than expect everyone to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's likely to become tense or upset quickly rather than handle things calmly. He may not start a big argument, but his patience is limited, and you might see him withdraw, go silent, or lose his temper for a moment. Afterward, he'll usually pull back even more to avoid further conflict.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might be comfortable with you making your own choices at home or in private, but will expect you to play the traditional supportive wife, daughter in law role in front of his relatives. He values order, routine, and respect for family customs. So, when relatives are around, he'll likely want everything to look proper and by the book. He's not trying to trick you, but for him, keeping peace and meeting family expectations is important, even if it means asking you to dress or act in a way that fits those traditions. If you want real freedom with him, make sure to talk about these expectations early.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than take your side or argue with his family. Conflict makes him uncomfortable, so he tends to step back, become quiet, or avoid the situation altogether, hoping things will settle on their own. He won't usually stand up for you openly or fight against family tradition, even if he agrees with you in private.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He does have some mummy's boy qualities, meaning he's gentle with his mother's wishes and cares about keeping her happy. In a conflict between you and his mother, he is not likely to openly choose your side. Instead of taking a strong stand for you, he'll usually stay silent, avoid the argument, or quietly hope things sort themselves out.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He tends to keep personal matters private and doesn't usually share every detail of your fights or your private life with his mother or sister. He prefers to avoid drama and keep sensitive topics to himself even when he's upset. If he does say something, it's likely to be vague rather than detailed or emotional.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man feels steady and predictable, but not especially warm or deeply emotional. Daily life will be organized and routines will run smoothly as he values keeping things in order and meeting responsibilities.